into his opponent's angelic overseer and humans, and his opponent just kept going like, human. He's like, oh.
You can also not randomly determine who wins.
So remember, Owen, we'll let the judge make his announcements.
Crazy nonsense like that. We're here to play Magic, so please have your match results determined by games of Magic only. With that, this is the final round of Swiss. Welcome to round 9. You have 50 minutes. You may begin.
Wait a minute. Are there two different Brian?
Don't think that Alcorn is quite correct. I believe it's Alcorn. A-L-C-O-R-N.
B-R-Y-A-N.
Fabulous.
The inferior spelling of the name.
Fabulous, though Alcorn would indeed be.
The phonetic Brian Alcorn.
Yes. So Owen
A-L-K-O-R-N.
is on the left.
Oh, I'm sorry, no K, C. A-L-C-O-R-N. There you go, perfect.
We're the Swamp. And they appear to have gone into suspended animation. I'm not quite sure why. Owen is going to pass, and finally we're kind of like properly underway. Alcorn has a Doom Traveller to get the ball rolling. Owen, turn 2, playing black-blue. It's a walking corpse.
There is a High Priest of
Skursdag High Priest indeed. So he'll need to do quite a lot of work to get that going. Need more bid, need some more guys. Walking Corpse comes in from Owen.
Deranged Assistant, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Are we going to draft tonight?
It's 8:30.
So yes.
Out of here at 9:15, food, 10:30, draft. Yeah, probably manage it, couldn't we?
Watch the end of the late football game.
9:30 Eastern right now. It might struggle. Might be done by the time we're out. That's New Orleans Lions.
I think so, yeah. Chapelgeist. You know, there was just a time where you felt like blue-black, your opponent would just have a ton of removal.
Yeah.
And, you know, it doesn't always feel that way anymore.
Nope. Instead, you have some generic 2/2s.
Yeah. What is that? That's Stromkirk Patrol. 5 mana, 4/3.
4/3. It's going to get taken out by Smite the Monstrous.
And we're going to get a token.
Wow.
Our first demon.
Morbid off the priest. Bang. I like that. Yeah. Not if you're Owen, obviously.
Yeah. Can't see what cards Owen's flipping into his yard, but he's going to be flipping some more of them.
Looking at 4, it looks like he's got 3 spells to choose from on 1 land.
I think he's got a Grim there.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
that did look like it. I agree.
Maybe not.
Just a general reminder, there are only 20 minutes left. Sign up for any drafts, 8-bit constructed, or commanders for the night. So another event tonight.
Does he have time?
Once again, there are only 20 minutes left.
Only at 19.
8-bit constructed or commander events.
So there
you
is.
see Owen. Debating.
Well, looks like he's made his move.
It looks like he's kept his...
That one-eyed scarecrow hit the bin.
Yep. An abattoir ghoul and maybe a land?
Yeah, because he had another land in hand, so it probably figures that the land would have gone.
Yeah.
Brian. There he is.
His Atlanta Braves hat.
Boo.
Jeez. It's got me on every front.
Spectral Rider.
So he gets in for 7, yeah.
Intimidate actually does work. See, 5/5 and 2/3 come over the air. This is looking like the kind of beating that you talked about with.
Yeah.
Well, that said, there is
Grimgren, yeah.
Corpseborn.
My bodyguard shows up.
And Owen has fuel for it. Sacrifice a creature, you untap it, it'll become 6/6. If it attacks, you get to destroy a creature.
Grim has destroyed the feed.
Defending player controls.
We've lost picture. But
And there it is back again.
Funny, they're just playing completely different decks. Just like green, white versus red, black vampires.
Bum, bum, bum. Yeah. So Spectral Rider, 5/5 token from Skursdag High Priest, which is still sitting around. Chapel Geister, Doom Traveller on the right for Brian Alcorn. Up against your reigning Player of the Year, Owen Turtenwald of the United States. There's Alcorn. Busy posing all kinds of threats here in Game 1 to Owen's participation in Day 2. Looking at Walking Corpse, Deranged Assistant, Grimrun Corpseborn. A Forbidden Alchemy, which can eventually flash back, but I think we're a long way from any of that going on.
Bashes in for 9.
Now there's a strong
There's his own strong miracle. Yep.
So put something into my bin. He draws. Looks like he's drawn land. Has he got a way out of this? Down to 3.
Yeah, no, it's pretty.
So it's going to something in.
Plays a Falconrouth Noble, which certainly gives him a little.
So there's guy dies.
So
Swap
he goes to 4.
little swing. Counter goes on Grimgrim. It attacks and will take out the 5/5 presumably.
I think it's going to actually take out the. I think it might have to take out the High Priest. Nope. Takes out the Demon.
Like you say, it.
Yeah, it makes
Another one comes back. Does that? Passes the turn.
So Morbid. Oops.
They were talking about it yesterday. I don't know where.
We checked to see if Owen had played a land already or not. He hadn't.
Yeah, so there's another guy. I want to see if we're going to see some turning sideways followed by some scooping up.
Remember that?
That's the turning sideways I mentioned.
Yeah. You can still untap his Grim. Can he survive? If he untaps his Grim, he has to sacrifice something. He can block 2 creatures.
So there's
He goes to
sacrifice.
6.
Yeah. He blocks 2, he still takes at least 6. Right, am I not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So right now there's 6 on the table. But there's, okay, so there's another sacrifice to put
Right.
another counter on ground, which puts him into 7.
Right.
So he then drops to 1.
And also 4,
But Alcorn
3 players to fill a standard 8
has taken a bunch of damage from the Noble.
Come on up.
Right.
Garrick.
Plays Garrick. Owen has the
Dissipate.
dissipate. He shows
Otherwise
him the
this-
attack for the win.
I'm going to beat you with grip. Yeah, I'm right. I'm going to shake you by the hand right now. For that.
Wow, that was magnificent.
Wow.
Told you, my bodyguard, Grim showed up and was like, "Oh, you're picking on my friend?"
That was epic. And you just see a tiny in that shirt. You just see all got a little shake of the head, minuscule, like, oh boy, don't know what happened there. Look at that. That is a man who's going, seriously. No, seriously. I made a turn 2 Skurstak High Priest.
Yep.
I very quickly turned it into made a 5/5. When you dealt with it, I instantly made another 5/5. I attacked with 6 guys with you at 4 life. At the end of which, you were at 1.
Then you
and then you
Falcon
killed me.
nobled me.
Yeah. Oh, magic.
Yeah. That's why you have to play it all the way through sometimes. You know, it's very easy. A lot of times people will be in that situation like, I scoop. You see it happen all the time.
You don't scoop, though.
Don't I?
No. Neither do I.
Okay.
I don't scoop. It's one of the few areas of really good play you can control without necessarily being a good Magic player.
Sure.
Make
I
them
think,
beat you.
I think there's certainly games where you're just frustrated. And everyone has at some point or another gone, okay.
Oh, the snaps. Like, I can't bear this anymore.
Yeah.
Sure. But in any competitive environment, it's like, no, I'm going to make you beat me. So we're heading for game 2. Owen 1 to the good. Looking to...
Feeling like he's got one in his pocket that he wasn't expecting.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, you'd lost that game a good few turns earlier, and then... Oh.
He does not love his deck.
How good is Forbidden Alchemy?
I love it. I mean,
Yeah.
how good is Impulse with Flashback? And it's better than Impulse, right? Like in a format where your graveyard is a resource, right? It's an extension of your hand.
Yes.
Right? Like, it's just unbelievable. I mean, anytime you've ever Forbidden Alchemy and put a fatty and an Unburial Rites into your yard at the same time, you know, you just realize how good that card is. And you've got a card, right? And you've got a card out of it that you need to do something with.
Let me change the rules for you for a minute.
Sure.
Because what you said there explains why, as a whole, the card is really good. And I get that, of course, there are many reasons
the context
for
of the format.
But if the card was as simple as you spend the card and you look at the top 4 and you get one of them, so it's a tutor for the top 4 cards.
Sure,
If that was all it was, still great. Still, I mean, obviously not as, but
No,
is that something that's still really good?
Compulsive research, thirst for knowledge. Like, I mean, anything that's letting you get some velocity through your deck has always been great. Card would be awesome, but I mean, it is just a perfect card for this format. I love it. It kills me to pass it.
Instinctively, do you enjoy graveyard formats? And I'm not talking.
Yes. Yes.
Not talking in terms of flavor, but mechanically.
Yes.
You like
I do. I love them.
Why?
I like velocity. And this is something that Mike Flores and I talk about a lot. It's a term we sort of coined to talk about decks where you just. One of the reasons I love the Spider Spawning deck is it's just got you see every card in your deck. You see every card in your deck by like turn 7 some games. You know, and like all your cards, you have this just inevitable. You're like, oh look, I've got my Spider Spawning. Guess what? I can cast it. Guess what? It's going to be good. You know, and I have this Memories Journey and this Runic Repetition, and I can do this. So I love.
As opposed to the formats where you play a game of Sealed, it takes 8 turns,
and I draw a card,
and you've seen 15 of the cards in your deck.
Yeah. It's like Crank, man. You know what I mean? It's just like playing, the movie Crank. You know, you just got to keep moving fast.
Yep. So Brian has decided that Owen can kick off, which he does, with an island, Plains from Alcorn. Second colour, it's Walking Corpse, once again from Owen, just as it did.
Walking Corpse is kind of interesting, right? That was a card that never really... Can you think of a 2/2 for 2 in black?
Black?
ever existed before. I mean, it's always been Drudge skeletons at that.
Yeah.
Like, there are no 2/2s for 2, just vanilla.
No room claw bears
Yeah.
floating around. One-eyed scarecrow. So Walking Corpse faces Walking Corpse, and then Owen has the initial advantage.
Night Terrors.
Oh, okay. So we're going to see double Stromkirk Noble and Falcon Ratner, but it's a very noble hand.
Need 2 more.
Oh,
for
Owen was
advanced
not pleased
standard.
with
2 more
playing the
slots for
second
advanced
noble.
Standard. Come on up and sign up.
It's up to 4 mana, sends in, offers the trade.
This time he takes it.
Yep.
Could have taken it last turn. Owen says go.
Maybe now, having seen the hand,
Sure.
decides, okay, you're heading towards big. I'm not racing you at the moment. Here's Galvanic Juggernaut. That's a group of cards I love historically.
Juggernauts.
Or yeah, just the cards that,
I feel the
that's
same
better
way
than
except
they
about
should be.
gargoyles. I like the gargoyle tribe.
Okay.
Gold College Chant. Get back to get a Diagraph Ghoul and a Walking Corpse back.
The Diagraph Ghoul will reappear. Comes into play tapped, of course.
There's so much card advantage on the Diagraph Ghoul side of things, like with the Ghoul Caller's Chance and the Ghoul's Callers.
Yes.
There's this opportunity to really just
Razor.
draw Ghoul Razor, to draw so many cards.
Second Juggernaut.
Bleh.
Hello. Alcorn's deck's really good. And that explains it. 1 buy.
Sure.
Yep.
So Owen's at 15.
This is another thing that makes Grand Prix Magic so good.
Dead weight, untap my Juggernaut, attack with both. Owen will certainly double block and try to kill one of them. Yep. Untap your Juggernaut. Owen's like, we could do this again next turn if you'd like.
Yeah, I love the fact that we're still 9 and a bit rounds away from crowning a champion. But right here, Brian Alcorn, and many players just like him around the building, are living the dream. They're still alive, they're still playing Magic at 9 o'clock at night. There he is. He has the chance to beat the reigning player of the year, put him out of the event, and put himself into day 2 of the Grand Prix off 1 buy.
Midnight Haunting for 2 tokens from 2 01s.
Standard players. Number 23 for Standard, Nate Marvin at center stage.
Interesting.
I wonder whether he's tweaked.
What?
I wonder whether he's registered the
Oh, that they're 01 flyers?
01 rather than 1-1.
You could have
Right,
Rally the
something coming.
Peasants.
Yeah.
No reason not to attack with them, I guess.
Holmes looking, says I'll take it. Any discrepancy over the live total?
Oh, he's
Yeah, he went, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I think that was just a late night slip. Elder Cathar. But once again, Owen right under the gun. It's down to 4.
attacks with the Troll.
That's interesting, because in theory, Brian could just Cathar.
Cathar untap his Juggernaut.
Yeah, it's... Owen must have a plan, because that's what Owen does.
Sure.
He has a plan. Cathar dies. Counter says going to go on the Juggernaut. Untaps. Looks like a removal spell for Owen.
Juggernauts are often victims of night.
Yeah.
They're not on the no-fly list.
Joe Phillips, center
Yep.
stage.
That's exactly what's happened.
Standard event is waiting for you. Joe Phillips, center stage.
And now, it is right back to Owen B. Well, there's another change. There's Garrick.
That should flip Garrick, right?
Does damage equal to its power back, which is 2. Yeah.
Garrick should be flipped. I don't think it matters that much. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is 1-1. This time, Owen couldn't stabilize at ridiculously low life with incredible pressure against him. This time, the incredible pressure and the overwhelming
So
advantage.
it's pointed out that there was one turn where Brian Alcorn did not attack with his Skirstad High Priest. And apparently, at one point might have mattered. He was lost by Xaxes, right? He was 1 point shy of killing Owen.
Wow.
And people always do that, right? They have that turn where their sort of utility creature is there, and they're like, go. Got to get your damage in when you can.
Quite like Stuart Wright's comment. He's someone who's very straightforward and has a good grasp of sound English. And I don't mean that in any disparaging way, but he puts things very succinctly. And I asked him after, I watched one feature match at a GP many years ago. I said, I didn't quite understand what was going on with this guy or that guy. And he said, if it isn't attacking, if it isn't blocking, it has no business not attacking.
Sure, absolutely.
As simple as that. There's someone quite famous in front of us, by the way. You may have noticed this.
Yeah. Pro Tour winner, Grand Prix winner,
2001
Masters
Pro Tour
champion.
LA. It's the Michael Postilnik.
We're on the air, actually.
You
But
heard
hi,
the
Mike.
voice
Good to see
of
you.
the
Happy New Year.
2001 Pro Tour LA champion. And those turns that you talk about there, they're the ones, because they're so ordinary, in a sense, because they are turns of omission. It's not that you did something or it went wrong. It's where you failed to do something. It's like, I didn't get in for 1 extra or 2 extra.
And those are also often the turns where you get done with the game and you don't remember.
That's what I mean, because nothing happens.
Right, you don't remember them, you don't think about them, and
key turn.
then you get done with the match and you're like, I got so unlucky. I came so close and then he got me. And it's like, maybe you could
Why
have
did
gotten
you let him get you?
Maybe you could have gotten an extra point in, sure.
This is last call.
And keep in mind, I don't remember the exact order. There may have been some reason he chose not to.
Last call.
No, we're just making a more general point.
Yeah.
One more game, and then you can start thinking about a lovely day of draft and watch, and draft and watch, and draft and watch. And then you can draft and play and draft and play.
Sure.
It's a pretty reasonable Sunday at the office.
I may or may not have headphones in listening to the Giant game.
I do believe Melissa DeTore is undefeated on day one. One draw, and everything else wins. Turns out when you play the game and see the world, you get quite good at it.
Yeah.
So
On to the final game on camera of day one.
The Bloodbath.
The Bloodbath.
You get it now.
Yeah.
Attention, would a Jason Howlett and a Jason Clark please come to the judge's table?
So,
Jason
Owen-
Howlett
Owen,
and
Owen
Jason
chooses
Clark.
to play. And I guess his deck is not. He's looking to just get in there with his zombies. can make up the card advantage elsewhere with the Gold Caller's Chant and whatnot. There's a Markov Patrician. All right, Markov.
Yeah. Markov Patrician. 3-1 life gain.
I love that card. Just one of those cards is just like a pain in the neck, if you will, pardon the pun, because I didn't want to use profanity.
Sure.
So slow start from Alcorn.
There he is. Trying to extend his Grand Prix Austin adventure into a second day off one bye. Chapelgeist from Alcorn. Owen with an aggressive start because he's got Abattoir Ghoul down to go with his Walking Corpse and his Markov Patrician. And if this is a removal spell, it is. It's Victim to take the Chapelgeist away, and Owen has crashed in 9 points of damage, one-eyed Scarecrow. Well, at least that's something for Brian, but he is in a matter of moments down to just 5 life. And it looks like in a blowout third game, it is a bloodbath. But Mr. Turtenwald is going to advance to day 2. That's certainly what it's looking like. 6 cards in hand for Alcorn. But he has three awkward things to deal with. 3-1 life gain, 2-2, and 3-2 first strike. What can you do? In game 1, you had Skursdag High Cultist and multiple demons, and it still wasn't quite enough.
Midnight Hauntings makes 201s. Can't even bluff a Victim a night.
Smash. I mean, terrific play by Owen, but I feel for Brian.
Sure.
Because yes, you want to play against the best, but you also would love to make day 2, and you'd love to play someone just like you.
It's terrifying to play against someone like Owen in this scenario.
Yeah. Because you imagine that Brian was sitting at home watching Owen become player of the year.
Even every innocuous question he asked, blocks. Like, what does he mean by that? What does he think? What is he trying to trick me into?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's that panic. There's a Grim.
And there's the hand. Owen Turtenwald pulls it out, and that is all about game 1.
Yeah,
because
an impossible looking game 1, but really great play by Owen.
Yeah, he's got to feel pleased with himself for that. Got to feel pleased. And thank you. Thanks for the game. Woof. And Owen makes it through.
See Ben Sack in the